Hello, the purpose of this video is to express my final thoughts about Essay 3. I'm recording this at 12:23 p.m. on November 24th. And really, I've already told you, I think, everything that I needed to say about Essay number 3. I just want to kind of wrap it up. And so I'm hoping this video, I can keep it short, or at least much shorter than the previous ones. So let's begin by me saying, as I always say, that what I say for English 100 V05 is also true for English 100 V06. And like I said, I'm recording this, as I started saying earlier, I'm recording this on the 24th, a little bit after 12, a little afternoon. The essay that I'm talking about, Essay 3, the first draft, is due tomorrow, which is November 25th, which is the day before Thanksgiving. There's also a late deadline for it. And if you need more time to write Essay 3, you get 1 additional week till December 2nd. All right, let's look at that. If we go to the syllabus, all right, we scroll, I'm clicking topic outline, and then scrolling down to week 14. There's week 14. Wow, there it was until I made it bigger, until I zoomed in. And so, yeah, sorry, I'm looking at there are other things going on, right? But right here, I'm focusing over here. Due 338, Essay 3, first draft, 11/25/2020. So as I said, I'm recording this on November 24th, a Tuesday. This essay is due on time tomorrow, which is Wednesday, November 25th, by 11:59 p.m. As I said, if you need more time, you have 1 more week. You have an additional week, a 1 week late or grace period, late period, to submit it until December 2nd, which is, I think, also a Wednesday, by 11:59 p.m. All right? And so, yes, there are other things going on, but this is the focus of this video, is Essay 3, first draft. Okay. All right, now if we look at back to the, on that link that I clicked, that I pressed right here, if we look at this chart of, basically it's organized by due date. It's organized by on time due date, which is this column, third to the last column that says due date. The late due date is not the organizing factor. It's this column right here. So as we go down, we'll end up on November 25th. And there it is. So Essay 3 first draft is due November 25th or late December 2nd by 11:59 p.m. Okay, that's that. And again, other stuff is going on, but I'm focusing on this, right? Okay. So this is just a wrap up of what I've done, what has been done for this. And to some extent that you've done. I say because when it comes to writing the journal assignments, which are JA11, JA12, and JA13, very few were written. Maybe the person I'm talking to right now, the person listening to this, wrote it. Good. But there are many who did not. But okay. All right, moving on. And again, I hope you understand that even if you don't write the journals, you still need to write the essay. Still need to write this, in this case, essay number 3. So I'm going to click on course content. And I'm going to kind of review some things. I'm looking down the weeks. And I see that it was on week 11, I think. Yeah, week 11, when we began on essay number 3. In this week 11 folder, you will find the introduction to the essay, to essay number 3, and then a brief, but very brief explanation of journal 11. Really, there's a better explanation in another video, but this is a nice overview, okay? And there's also the journal assignment 11. Let's see. Oh, it's the same thing, but in PowerPoint. I mean, they're both PowerPoints. It's just that this one kind of moves along like a video. This one just stays still. And you move it along with a space bar or arrow or the mouse or with your finger on the screen, right? Then there's the sample for journal for JA11 and the video about JA11. This is a really important one because I tell you how I show you my sample and how I came up with my outline. And there are many who didn't do that, others who didn't do it right, and therefore their essays down the line aren't right either. Okay, so, but again, the main problem is that many students didn't do it. Let's see, and then when you click on this, it takes you to the essay 3 folder, and so on and so forth. But again, you can't do the journals anymore. But I'm just telling you that this is still useful because, as I tell you, let's say you never started on this essay, and let's say again today is November 24th when I'm recording this, and let's say there's no way you're going to finish it by tomorrow, and then Thursday's Thanksgiving, and you know, and you've got shopping to do. Okay, fine, do whatever you want, right? It's your life. As a teacher, I can't tell you what to do. That would be wrong, right? That's not my business. So let's say that you're going to get to this essay as soon as possible, right? I can give you advice, right? That's my advice. But whenever you do get to this essay, maybe some of you need to start from what you would have done for journal assignment 11, which was to write an outline. Again, a few people did it, most people didn't. I recommend you write an outline for yourself so that you can write the essay. So this will help you with that. You can't turn it in. I'm not going to grade it. That ship sailed. Again, I can't tell you what to do and when to do it, but I can enforce my deadlines. I have an on-time deadline and a late deadline. Remember, what proves that I'm a nice person is that I give you a late deadline. I give additional time beyond the original on-time deadline for students to do the assignment. So if you accuse me of not being nice, it's an accusation based not on reality, right? Okay. Okay, so there it is. And let me say something. In fact, we're not required to give additional time on assignments. We just do that out of the kindness of our hearts. So there's no rule that says you must give students extra time to do their work. We can enforce on-time deadlines, and I know instructors who never give additional time, and that's fine. It's okay for them to do that. It's their right. Okay, except in some circumstances where it makes sense to make an exception to a rule, but those are extreme circumstances, not, I forgot to do it or something like that. All right, but anyway, that's kind of a different topic. But I'm just saying that the reason you can't turn in journals anymore is that because we're beyond that. All right, so I kind of did the next thing, but then I was still talking. So week 12, that's a good place to get the journal assignment 12. And that was just a works cited, which would be, I think, the second to the last page of your essay. And so and writing the works cited, it's not that difficult. It doesn't take very long. So the reason there's such a long video about it is that I explain how I chose my source, how I used it in my essay, etc., and then how what I consulted. There's a link in the essay 3 instruction sheet that I clicked on, which showed me that, and in that it's the OWL at Purdue writing tutoring website, and so I used the format in there to create my works cited, that one-page works cited. And so make sure you watch that video, not just so you know how to write that second to the last page of the essay, but also how you can see how I found my source and how I used it in my essay, or at least how I planned to use it in my essay. Because for how I used it in my essay, you really will have to look at the video for journal assignment 13, and that's where we're headed next. Right, again, so I mean, I don't know what stage of the writing process you are. Some of you may be at the I haven't done anything yet, right? You haven't done your outline, you haven't done, and again, the purpose is not to submit the journals. We're beyond that. The purpose is that if, for example, your purpose for writing a works cited is not to submit journal assignment 12, it's too late for that, but to include that works cited as your second to the last page on your essay. All right, so that's why these things are still useful, right? We go to week 13, and this is the most useful one. This is the most important one. Let's say you skip the first two, you know? This one, I think you could get away with just watching this video. I still recommend you watch the other two first. But you could, if you have very limited time, so that means you would be saving about 100 minutes from not watching the other two. Again, better to watch them than not. But if you watch this hour and a half, 93 minutes, it covers a lot. It even covers like the works cited, because I know that in this video, I did 3 different works cited. I did the one that I demonstrated it. I did the one that I demonstrated and used as a sample for journal assignment 12, and then I did 2 others, okay? And I showed how I used the information from my source in the paragraph, in the essay. So there are a lot of things that I did. There are many things that I did in this video. And pretty much that's one of the last things I'm going to tell you. I'll tell you a couple more things after we leave this part of the demonstration. But what I'm telling you is that this has, I think, it has like 3 body paragraphs. Okay. But I also show you my introduction, and in the sample, you can also see. I think I also show you the introduction. I don't go into a lot of detail on the introduction, but the introduction's easy. You just write, what, 3 or more sentences to wrap it up. So it's not a big deal. So the body paragraphs are where most of the work is. So again, the introduction to journal assignment 13 and the sample show my 3 body paragraphs for my sample essay. But I also explain how I included the quote and how it led to the works cited. And I even explain how I mentioned an image, which in my case was a photo of my great-grandfather, the person I wrote about, and how I mentioned it in a paragraph, and then how that led to the last page of the essay, which was me including a picture of my great-grandfather, which is probably what you're going to do too. You're probably going to include a picture of the person you're writing about. But you've got to know how to do it according to the rules, according to the instructions. So in this video, it shows you how to do that. Okay. So guess what we're going to do now? We are going to, again, I'm not showing you this so that you can turn in your journals. Too late. I know, I've already said that, but I just want to emphasize it, okay? But you still need to write the essay, so why don't we click in here, right? We could get to that by drilling down on the folders, right? If I go back to course content, I click on that, it leads me to essays, which then leads me to essay 3, which then leads me to, when I click on it, it shows me all the list of things, right? But I put things all over the place. For example, this is in all the weekly folders, right? So when you click on it, you basically, it's a place where everything's gathered. The only thing you won't find in here, so you'll see the things that I've been pointing out, right, from the weekly folders. What you won't see, I mean, physically you'll see it right now. For example, it says right here, journal assignment 11, but it says item is hidden from student. So on your end, you can't see this. You can see it on my end because I'm showing you, I'm taking you into my world, right, the teacher world of the person who posted these items, right? I posted these items, and so I can still see the journal. You can't because it's too late to submit them. Right? Journal assignment 11, 12, and 13, it's too late to submit those. Again, what is it, the fourth or fifth time I say that in this video? I'm not rubbing it in. I'm just pointing out because sometimes students think, oh, so I can still do my journals and do the essay. I'm sorry, but no. Okay. So maybe that's the last time I'll say that. Okay. It's the last time I'll say that you can't turn in your journals anymore. Ah, there I go. I said it again, right? Again, I'm not rubbing it in, but I just want to make sure that that's clear. And more than anything, I'm saying that so you don't spend your time, you know, trying to put together a journal and then email it. No. We're not doing that, right? I mean, the things from your journal go into the essay anyway, right? Not the outline, right? The outline doesn't go into the essay, but the paragraphs do and the works cited does, right? So here are all the materials except the links for submitting the journals, right? And what's in here too is the instruction sheet. And I went over this. I talked about it. You know, I talked about this instruction sheet in previous videos. So I'm not talking about it right now. Make sure you read everything and you do everything that's asked for and don't do the things that aren't asked for, right? Here it is. Here is everything. Everything you need, instruction-wise. And you can see how I, I myself followed my own instructions. And based on those instructions and consistent with the things that I said in my videos, I wrote an essay too. Okay, I wrote, careful. I wrote an essay as well. That sounded like essay 2, right? Like essay number 2. It isn't. I wrote essay 3. Okay. You've heard people say, "Oh, what do people say? Who wants a hamburger? I want one." And someone else says, "I want one too." And then someone else says, "I want one 3." And then I want one 4 and I want one 5. I know I've seen that in a kid's book. But before I saw it in a kid's book, I've heard people say it. All right, so I'm talking about essay 3, right? So this is my essay 3 that I also, right, wrote. Just like you did. And the students, I don't usually do that. This is the only semester in which I've written every essay along with my students. And that's a lot. That's too much work, okay? Because I shouldn't be doing the assignments. I have to grade all your assignments. But I took it as a teaching thing, right? Me writing these essays helps me teach these essays because I'm going through the process of doing the same thing that I'm asking you to go through, the same kind of process, right? If you write your essay like mine, you know, if you do the same things that I did, then you're going to be doing it right. Of course, in your case, it'll be about the person you're writing about and with a different source, right? But all of you should have an interview with a relative, right? Just like I have an interview with my relative. So in this essay, I followed all the instructions. And in the video, right, that goes with this, in the video, I've done a lot of explanations. So make sure you watch that and make sure you do the essay correctly. So the only thing left to say is how to submit this essay. Simple, right? You saw that I got to this folder, the essay 3 folder or page. All you do is, of course, you save your essay as a Word document. Now, you see that I'm using PDFs. I can do that, right? I'm doing that because I'm demonstrating a document to you. I'm not turning it in, right? I don't turn in assignments to you, okay? I demonstrate my documents to you. So I can use a PDF. I'm asking that you not use a PDF document. Somewhere here it says, it's difficult to edit a PDF document. And so I will subtract points from it if you turn in a PDF. So I'll take away 10 points. So just submit a Word document, right? Something that's a word processed document, not a PDF. Right? If PDF is the only thing you can do, fine. But you're going to get 10 points off. I guess it makes my life harder to deal with that document. So most people have submitted Word documents. And again, there are some other guidelines you need to follow. Make sure you follow these guidelines right here. Make sure you do so. So once you submit this essay, or when you're ready to submit the essay, when it's already saved on your computer or somewhere, you press that. and then you submit it, right? You browse, and I'm not going to click browse because I don't want to show you my files that'll come up. You click on it, you'll look for your assignment, check this box, and then hit submit, and that's it. That's how you'll submit the essay. It'll show you a message saying that it's submitted. It'll, like at the top, it'll show you the essay you submitted, or even if it doesn't show the essay here on the side, it'll produce like a link that, and there's an arrow you can click on to download it. If you can click on that and your essay comes out, then I can do it too. All right, so that's a little bit about essay 3. See, before we finish, I do want to say one last thing. Something that I remember I didn't do much of, or maybe anything of, in that last video, in the video for journal assignment 13. Okay. Because I know I said a few things about my introduction. I said a lot about body paragraph A, body paragraph B, and body paragraph C. Right. I talked also about the quote. Right. How the citation, here's a citation, but here's the quote. And then, of course, the works cited for that, which is this page right here. Here is the works cited entry for the quote. And this is just for the interview, which most of the information from my essay comes from that interview. Okay, so there's that. And then the picture is something I mentioned right here. See figure. And by figure, I don't mean figure like the shape of my great-grandfather. No. Figure means like any type of picture, chart, or graph, or something like that. So when I'm talking about the way he used to dress, that he would dress in a very proper, formal way, I put see figure. It's kind of saying, I'm telling you the way he used to dress properly and blah, 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 right? So see figure. In other words, go look at a picture of him. Go look at something that may illustrate this. And so the figure, when you go down, it says right here, it says figure. Don't write the figure of Francisco Pancho Mujica. Don't write that. Say, I didn't. I'm saying in your case, don't write the figure of so-and-so. No. Write figure, period. And then I wrote his name. That makes sense. You see, figure could be something else. It could be a chart or a graph. Some of you might be referring to something and you found a chart or a graph and you want to show it, right? So it would say figure and then graph of blah, 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 or chart of blah, 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 or picture of blah, 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 blah. But first you write the word figure. I explained this in the video. I explained it in the instruction sheet. And I put it little descriptive there. It could be a sentence out here. This is a family picture, a picture that I have in my mom has this picture in her photo album. It could go longer, but I just put family picture just to be simple and to the point. It's a very good picture of my great-grandfather Pancho. All right. So I ended up saying everything except the one thing that I didn't talk about in any of my journals, and that was my conclusion. I'll read it. These are a few aspects of my great-grandfather Pancho's life. They counterbalance my previous memory of him as a blind old man with a missing leg, sitting in a wheelchair in a small room in a small house in Vallehermoso. Though he had a healthy diet, he lost his sight and leg to diabetes. It must have been bad luck in the genetic lottery, which he passed down to both my grandfather and mom. I don't have and hope to dodge diabetes, but he passed down his love of work, service, leadership, good food, knowledge, and music. I hope not to escape the fate of experiencing a life as long and meaningful as my great-grandfather Pancho. So remember, the conclusion rather, is just really short, 3 or more sentences. And whatever you write there, just wrap up what you said before, right? And leave us with some final thoughts. And that's it. Those are my final thoughts on essay number 3. And I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.